Please indulge me in this hot take about the 2024 U.S. Open and the Rory McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau situation. I refuse to be offended by Rory McIlroy hitting the streets very quickly after blowing what would have been his first major in 10 years. Coming off of a year where he filed for divorce, rescinded a divorce, I give the man some grace. I also will not get offended, which we easily could, by Bryson DeChambeau celebrating on the 18th green while Matthew Pavon still had a putt to make.
Another epic up and down at Pinehurst for a U.S. Open championship. Bryson DeChambeau now has two, the second at number
2. Which counted for something as he's fighting for position not to win, but to still place higher and take home more money. So forgive me for not being offended by either.
So chat, help us out, chat. If you're in the chat right now, Rory choked or Bryson won? What do you think? What is the chat's opinion on that? So his second major, won it down the stretch. Super clutch on 18 to get up and down. Super clutch.
Yeah,
he was in a bad spot
that bunker
off the
shot
tee.
was unreal.
It really was. But I'm going to give him his flowers, right? He had to go get a par to go win the tournament after Rory missed his, par putt on 18, bogeyed 3 out of the last 4 holes coming down the stretch. Rory did, which opened the gate. I mean, he played good enough all day to have this thing. Had a 2-shot lead going down the back half, and essentially, handed it back to Bryson. And Bryson just had to stick in there, again, shoot a 1 over and pull out the championship. So kudos to him for doing that. You at that point, you're kind of playing match play. When you see what the person in front of you did or you're tied up with. So hand claps to him. He performed in the PGA Championship. What do you think about his week at Pinehurst?
Yeah, I mean, just another step, just another notch on the belt of the redemption tour for Bryson. I mean, we've discussed this before. I mean, just out of the blue, just becoming way more likable. No clue what has happened, what has changed. I feel like somebody has alleviated some stress off of him or something, maybe it was internal. Glad he's done the work and glad it's not even it's not feeling like it's forced like it would from Inside Trader. It's not just these very glassy teeth cheeses, the head nods are legit, the awkward wrist bump that he does with the fans on the little, processions to the next one. That's always something, that's a tangent that I'll wait to get onto, but that's something that always trips me out. Golfers do not have fops together. Yeah, golfers do not have that together.
Sticking behind, to sign autographs and interact with fans, that takes effort. I'll give him credit for doing that. You really do have to be genuine in those moments, and people will feel if you're full of crap.
Right.
So while I still, to a certain degree, think that he's slightly awkward as a human being, you can just tell he's a little less uptight and able to open up, and it's for his benefit. I mean, he has captured a certain demographic with his YouTube stuff, so he kind of plays in the same lane that a good, those guys that do a lot of the, I wouldn't call it competitive, the contest golf on YouTube. So he has had that market cornered for quite some time. People love watching that. It's, that type of entertainment. But I think it's been the more kind of older fans that he's, gotten away from. So now he's kind of capturing those guys and gals back. And like you said, we've been saying in the background, it's the redemption tour. This didn't just start this year. This is something that he's been focusing on, and whether that's the passing of his father, maybe just the ability to have more free time and not playing as heavy a schedule, playing with Liv. Who knows? Like you said, you
Yeah.
never really know. Or a combination of all of the above that has kind of gotten him to this point. I will say, call out to his caddy, who's, I think his company that he's founded was called a company called Evergreen. They do like golf, simulator golf, up in the Pacific Northwest, has contributed to a lot of his maturity. I've seen a lot of people giving him a ton of credit for partnering up with Bryson and kind of being an adult in the room. Hopefully just guiding him along. So hopefully that partnership
Yeah.
continues to stick around. But again, he's put in the work, and I think that's when we've talked about Live. It seemed very much like people that went over there hadn't gotten better because they're not playing as much golf, and it becomes on you to practice and put in the work behind the scenes to uphold that and keep your skills sharp. Shout out to him, man. I do hope that he continues the redemption arc and kind of reverses the bad will that really, that's kind of, we went over there thinking when he left for Live, like, good riddance, douchebag. But it seems like he
Right.
separated himself from that reputation at this stage.
Definitely. I mean, we can't. It goes without saying, but if you watch any of the coverage today, you know what happened. And although Bryson, had some clutch, he had three clutch pars in a row. We all saw what happened, and Rory just didn't have it. He hasn't really put himself in that situation since last U.S.
Right.
Open at LACC, but that's not an excuse anymore for Rory. Unfortunately, it's not. I mean, you're a four-time major winner, and we've pretty much gotten rid of that Achilles heel of just the the misnomer of him being a bad putter. We've seen how consistent he can be. For him to miss these 3-foot putts,
Right.
just
Yeah.
a bad
That
look. A
that
bad look.
it's tough. So it's
The
interesting. I'm gonna
forced
pull up
lip out
something.
on that par three, just not committing on 18. All you got to do is hit that left or right, or just go straight at the hole. I mean, Smiley Kaufman, no, although he's not playing professionally anymore, bro said it right then and there. It's like you play it left edge and you let it slide in there, or you play it hard and firm. Pause. But like
Yeah.
you can't be indecisive. As soon as he hit the putt, you saw him. The knees wobbled.
Little stat. Let me pause this right here. So Rory McIlroy was 496 for 496 putting inside 3 feet this season before that miss. That's
Just
pressure.
major.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's just major
that's
pressure. And he just yammed it through the break. I mean, Lordy, this was
yeah. And a few years ago when we saw him with the ripped shirt,
yeah,
he wasn't far off from that. That look on that face, he's gonna be having nightmares of this for quite some time. Kind of waiting in the parking lot to eventually.
why did you burn the tires out? You made it
Yeah.
worse.
He's
The little
been,
scuttle is
how
all
that
he
feels
needed.
though. Rory's going to be feeling the pain for that one for a while, and we've had this conversation before in the past. People either thrive and grow from this, or they fall down and they
Yeah,
struggle to mentally get that back. Even people who don't like Rory, I think, call out to Hank Haney, who has been very critical of anything PGA related. Even Rory McIlroy, when he was standing up for the PGA Tour, said Rory is honestly the best, one of the best. But
yeah,
this is that you see the talent shining through. He's top 10 week in, week out. But when it comes to closing the deal, this is what we've talked about. And this
yeah.
is the closest he's been in quite some time where it's been tangible. I know the Open was also close last year, but damn, we're Rory fans over here. It sucks to see him go out that way versus forcing the playoff,
Yeah,
putting pressure on Bryson. Who knows if Rory keeps it tied? What happens to Bryson? Right, he's looking at the
right. What happens in
scoreboard.
a playoff?
Yeah, a lot of things can happen.
You get a lot of stuff out of this channel, y'all. A little business knowledge, a little technical golf knowledge, a little BS in here and there. You're in a well-rounded environment. So hit that subscribe button, hit that membership button. We got you covered on all things golf.